they wanted to get rid of the trusted intermediary. They said, no, we don't want to trust a central entity. We don't want to trust a central bank. We don't want to trust anyone because, again, we don't want to be cut off from a system. Because
they wanted to make it a transaction and a value exchange between two parties.
Yes.
And cut everything else out, the whole system.
So how do you do that? Because now you expose yourself to other bad players, which are not maybe like central intermediaries, but maybe are people that are trying to cheat the system. Right. So maybe I want to put in two transactions. One is I only have one Bitcoin, and I'm trying to give it to two people. So I put in two transactions. Who's gonna tell which one is the right one? The right one? So again, traditionally we have said, okay, you know what? There's one guy. We delegate the authority to that. One guy, one entity, and so that is the trusted intermediary. If we don't want that, then everyone has to participate. Has to have a way to prove that the first transaction was the valid one, and everyone else has to agree on that vision of the world, of the facts. And so that's why what Bitcoin needed and was created for this was what is called a consensus mechanism, where everyone agrees on, okay, we have this shared view of the history of the world, because I first gave you a Bitcoin, then you gave it to someone else, and this is being recorded on this ledger. So ledger is the fundamental word here. So the blockchain is a big ledger where all these transactions are recorded by multiple people.
So these are these blocks of information which are basically on the chain. And if there, let's say there was 1,000 participants, Brunos and Franks on that network, what you're saying is that basically you giving me one Bitcoin is then logged on the ledger across all of these participants.
Yes.
So the information goes, in what form does that information go out?
So I'm literally sending out like a tiny file that only has that transaction and giving one Bitcoin to Frank that gets broadcasted to all the nodes, to use your term, that are participating, and all this computer that is doing this this thing. And
it's a database, basically.
Yes, exactly.
So basically what we have is, with those 1,000 participants, each one of them has their own ledger, in a sense, their own database. And we call it the distributed ledger because the ledger of each participant is synchronized with the databases of the other participants.
Yeah.
So all the information, in the case of Bitcoin, everyone has that information. In what form? Is it encrypted for everyone? So basically, would Serena, that is sitting over here, would she see that that you gave me that one Bitcoin if she knows how to program?
So what she will see, it won't be my name and your name. She will see my Bitcoin, my wallet address,
your address,
and your wallet address.
Right.
And the difference with bank account numbers is that with Bitcoin, everyone can create a new, let's call it bank account number,
wallet,
for every new transaction.